Hello all, my name is Dr. Shailesh Bhodke, working as Assistant Professor in Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Engineering Management and Research, Akurdi, Pune. Today, my topic of presentation is recycle of plastics. Details of week 1 video and week 2 video are here. In week 1 video, I have described about the effects of pesticides on two water sources. It briefly discusses how the pesticides get multiplied in the food chain. In week 2 video, I have discussed about the air pollution laws and standards in India. It provides the background of functions of Central Pollution Control Board, which monitors the ambient air quality standards in India. Today, I will be talking about the recycle of plastic. Before that, outcome of previous videos are learners will be able to understand the effects of pesticides as a result of surface runoffs on the water resource and the environment. Next, learners will be able to estimate the degree of agglomeration of pollutants along the food chain. And finally, the learners will be able to estimate the quality of ambient air as per the standards given by the Central Pollution Control Board of India. Now continuing with the today's topic, recycle of plastic. The ISO standards related to recycle of plastics are listed here. We all know that there are more than 1200 ISO standards available for a variety of industries across the globe. I have listed here some of the standards related to plastics. These are some standards which we often see obtained by the variety of industries. First is ISO 15270, 2008. It gives the guidelines of recovery and recycle of plastic waste. ISO 15033 talks about the determination of caprolactam and its cyclic and linear oligomer. ISO 15340 talks about methods for marine exposure. ISO 15512 2019 talks about the determination of water content present in the plastic. The references are taken from the following, that is iso.org. Let us now talk about recycling. First, we'll talk about the plastic. The first commercial plastic was utilized in the year 1920, wherein the growth of petrochemical industry took place and the birth of commercial grade plastic was practiced into the industry. In today's scenario, plastic have replaced almost everything like leather, paper, metal, glass, natural fiber products, everything because of its variety of use. However, this so-called wonder material which could replace everything has been found to be non-biodegradable. That is, it is not degraded into the environment like the other organic material. So, the concern related to treatment of such plastic material has raised an alarm. So, if we find that there is a careless disposal of plastic bags, it would choke the drains, it would block the porosity of the soil, and it may cause the trouble related to groundwater recharge. So what are the various ways to reduce this impact of plastic waste? First and foremost is source reduction. That is the first method of stopping the use of this particular plastic into the market. So what we can do is first modify the design of the product or package depending on the type of product so that the amount of material being used will be reduced. Then utilize economics of scales with larger size package, that is those packages having large size. You utilize economies of scale and with the product of concentrates, make the material more durable so that it may be reused, and finally substitute away from toxic constituents in the products or packaging. Potential for plastic markets that may be considered for source reduction include packaging, building and construction, consumer products, electrical and electronics, furniture and furnishings, transports, adhesives, and so on. So why can't we go in for degradable plastic? The plastic which will degrade in the environment, that is bioplastics. Yes, we can use these bioplastics which are biodegradable, whose components are derived from renewable raw materials. These plastics can be made from abundant agricultural resources like starch, collagen, casein, protein, and so on. Large-scale use of these plastic materials would help in preserving the non-renewable resources like petroleum, natural gas, coal, and so on. So we would make a plastic which is first coming out of renewable sources, and second which is biodegradable. So it would enhance the use of plastic in the nature. The commercial methods of plastic degradation are photodegradation, biodeterioration, auto-oxidation, hydrolysis, solubilization. The details are given in the list, wherein we use variety of methods like sunlight, like microorganisms, like chemical reactions, then water solubility characteristics. All different types of methods are utilized for degradation of these practice. However, these methods are found to involve lot of investment in treating the plastics. So, as we discussed, first option of this plastic recycle is having the biodegradability. However, there are some challenges in utilization of these biodegradable materials. What are those? Consumers or customers' response to the cost, because it would require some amount of cost. Then possible legislations by government, that is whether this particular material are passed through the government norms and rules. And third is whether we will be actually be able to reach to the achievement of total biodegradability. That is, after we subject it to the degradation, whether it actually gives those particular degradation or not, or it should not create certain secondary types of pollutants. Going further, demand for this particular biodegradable would then be used for the variety of applications like wrapping, packaging, sachet, and so on. However, the legal framework for this utilization of material is not clear. So, yes, there is a difficulty of this particular thing. Next, recycling. Recycling of plastic is practiced throughout the globe. However, India ranks the first, having almost about 60% of plastic being recycled in India, which averages 20% only on the global platform. So how do we do it? We do it with different types of recycling methods like called primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. Most of the time, when we recycle it, we need to melt the particular material using large amount of energy to heat the material. So this heating would involve, and of course, with this heating, what would come is CO2 emission in all types of recycling methods. Going further, we will take now the carbon footprints for the plastics, the reuse of plastics. We will be taking two case studies. First case study is about the household polythene bags which we use. Typically, these bags are being utilized using LDPE, that is plastic material, then PET, polyethylene terephthalate, and so on. Now, when we talk about this material, how do we calculate the carbon footprint? To produce 1 kg of plastic, we need 1 kg oil for energy requirement plus the raw materials are required. However, burning of 1 kg of oil in manufacturing the plastic would emit 3 kg of CO2. Therefore, the amount of CO2 produced during production of these plastics is 2 into 3, that is 6 kg of CO2 per kg of plastic. That is quite a much. Second case is soft drink bottles. We all observe that lot of food products, lot of cold drinks or drinkable products are coming in polyethylene terephthalate bottles, that is PET bottles. If we consider a case of 500 ml bottle, which averagely weighs about 25 grams, how do we get the carbon footprint? The energy used for manufacturing this 25-gram bottle is somehow coming out to be 0.58 kilowatt hour. Energy in processing a plant, that is the related activities related to manufacturing of bottle, would consume 0.07 kilowatt hour of energy, and the total energy, that is 0.58 plus 0.07 is 0.65 kilowatt hour per bottle is the energy consumed. Now, the energy required to recycle the same bottle is almost about 0.24 kilowatt hour. Going further, so if we consider of recycling the same bottle, we would come up with certain equation that the energy required to produce one bottle minus the energy required to recycle bottle, that is 0.58 minus 0.24, it comes out to be 0.34 kilowatt hour. Now this is energy requirement. In terms of CO2 generated out of this recycling method would be 2.33 kg CO2 per kg minus 9.98 CO2 per kg. It comes out to be 1.35 kg CO2 per kg. Therefore, for a 25-gram bottle, a recycle bottle saves almost 0.034 kg of CO2. So one must understand that utilization of plastic would lead to two things. First, either it should be recycled or it should be biodegradable. When we talk about biodegradable, we should be talking about norms, we should be talking about its practical implications. In recycle, we are emitting almost per bottle 0.03 kg CO2 per bottle recycled. So we could understand the amount of CO2 that would be emitted when we produce a plastic and when we recycle a plastic. So in this video, what we have seen was understand the scenario of plastic use, compare the method of reuse of plastic, and third, estimate the CO2 emission in plastic manufacturing and recycling. These are certain references which I have used for preparing the presentation. Thank you.